Good morning. We're here to do this beautiful island landscape with watercolors. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that blue brush that's in your kit. We're going to get rid of that. And you're going to have two other brushes. You're going to have a big old softy brush. And you're going to have this little detailed brush. Your detailed brush has probably got a blue handle on it. So to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to take our big old brush, dip it in our water cup. This is my good old water cup right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to dip it into our blue in our watercolor container. Now, you can see that I have the scene right here. Yours, you're going to be putting it on the table is the best way to do it, so that way your watercolors don't run. I just do this so that way I can show you how it's done. So, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line with our blue, and that's going to be where the top of our water is. Now, as you go along, your lines are going to become a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter. So it's almost like an upside down triangle shape. That's kind of the goal we're looking for. Now there's going to be light and dark striations in your color. And also remember that the more water you have in your water paint, the lighter the color will be. So the less water, the darker. The more water, the lighter it will be. And we don't want it perfect either. There we go. Perfect's boring. We want it to kind of have a little bit of variation here and there. A little bit of fun. And I'm just adding a little bit of water just because I'm running out of color here without it. So there we go. Notice how it's far from perfect for an upside down triangle still. That's what we want. We want it far from perfect. So ta-da! We have the water. Now, so this is your top of your water line right here. Now if you notice, there's a little bit of blue in the sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit more water so the blue is a little bit lighter for me. And I'm going to go into the sky. And it kind of meets the water below. There we go. Now you're going to have these light and dark striations. That is perfectly fine. We actually want that. We don't want it totally perfect. There we go. Ooh la la. So now we have our water and we have our sky. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our big brush still. We're going to wash it off, wipe it off, and then we're going to add some of that pink in the sky. And what that is that we're going to add a lot of water to our red. And what I like to do is add a lot of water to the red, and then I'll wipe some of it off on the paper towel to kind of see the tone or consistency that we're getting. Then what I do is I run it along. Run it along the top here. See how it's kind of blending into that blue, making a beautiful purple as well? So it's up to you how much reddish, pinkish you want, how much bluish you want, how much of a sunset look you're looking for. So there we go. There's that. So we got a little bit of that pinkish in the sky, which makes it beautiful. And what we're going to do next is we're going to wash our brush off again. Tap it off, and we're going to go into our purple, which is our next to our white. It kind of looks dark at first. It almost looks black, but it's actually purple next to the white. And so we're going to add a little bit of water, and there's actually purple in the water. So we're going to add a little bit of purple here and there. Add just a little bit of oomph to it. We like a little bit of oomph. There we go. And again, we're going to wash it off. And there's actually a little bit of green in the water as well. So we're going to add some water to our green, right here. We're going to add that little bit of green to that water just to kind of give it that nice watery effect. It's coming out beautiful. There. So there we go. So We have our background color for our sky. We have our colors for our water. So next what we're going to work on is we're going to wash our big brush again. We're going to dip it into the black, and we actually want a bit of water in the black because we're looking for a gray color. So once we kind of have that grayish color, we're going to create the island and get that started. So there's the island, and as you go in the middle it gets a little bit thicker. Now I'm going to dry my brush, actually wipe my brush off, take some of that water out of the black so it's a darker color. There we go. So now we got some of that darker color happening. And I'm going to take a little more color out, a little more water out of that black again. So we get a nice deep rich color. There we go. There's a beautiful island. Ta-da! It doesn't quite go to each side, but if it does, that's okay. There we go. So we have our beautiful island. I made that one a little bit bigger. Yours can be smaller. It's totally up to you. This is your masterpiece again, so you get to create what you want. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do these little lines, and they represent like little rocks in the water. And I'm using it with just a little bit of water in my black, so that way they come out a little bit darker. Ta-da! All right, so we're going to stick big old fuzzy brush in the water for now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our tiny brush. We're going to make sure that our green's a little wet. And I am actually going to steal a little bit of black and put a little bit of it into my green, just in a little part of my green. So what it's going to create is two different colors of green in your little green section by adding just a little bit of black, keeping it just on the edge of your green. So you're going to have light trees, dark trees. We're going to start off with the light trees, so go to the lighter green. What you're going to do is you're going to draw the lines of where you want your lighter trees. So if you notice, I'm drawing the lines for the background trees that are a little bit lighter. Now each one's going to be a little bit different. That's okay. We like different. Once you have that established, your little trees in the background, they're actually, if you think of it, almost like little arrows. See, almost like little arrows for your trees. And you just go down each side with those little brush strokes. Take your time. Just go through. Oops, I'm going to add a little bit of water because I want it to be a little brighter. So we're just going to go down, brush stroke each side, almost like little arrows down the stick, so to speak. Just go through. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. I know, I think I need to add like background music or something so it's not so quiet. You can probably hear my dishwasher in the background. Or my puppy that's snoring. And she's sleeping really hard about 10 feet away from me right now, snoring up a storm. So there, we have our background trees, which are a little bit lighter. Now, if you notice, a little bit of green is going to go into your black right now from your trees. Don't worry, we're going back. We're going to straighten that out, the black island color, once we're done with our trees. So next one we're going to do, wipe off our brush a little bit. And remember I said to add a little bit of black to your green for darker trees. That's what we're doing next. So I'm going to draw the lines for my trees. Now we don't want it like exactly in between all the light trees. We kind of want it to stagger a little bit. So there I have lines for my dark trees now that I'm going to put in there. And we're going to do the same technique where it's almost like an arrow. Boom. And we kind of go down that line we created on each side. There we go. Oh la la, looking so pretty. Here's some more. Whoop, whoop. Now remember, with watercolors, it's very abstract. You don't want it to be perfect. That's the beauty of these, is that it's not supposed to be perfect. It's this beautiful watercolor. And yes, whatever you do, that's what you get. It's definitely not like acrylic where you can kind of go back over it. But it's a lot of fun, and it's so beautiful to see the tones and colors that come out of watercolors. I really enjoy it, and I hope you do too. And I think I'm gonna add lib, add another one right here. And as you do yours, you may find different areas where you want to add different things, or add a little more character, or add a little more trees here and there to kind of give it a little more 3D look. But there, we got our beautiful trees. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our soft brush. And notice how there's a sun in here? We're going to take and get our yellow and our orange wet. So go ahead, get your yellow and your orange wet in your little thingy here. And I'm going to add or put a little bit of orange into my yellow. Now once you're done mixing these colors, all you're going to do is wipe them out with a paper towel and then go back to the original color. So you don't have to worry about them getting dirty. You can kind of just wipe them to clean them out. And all you do is this nice little circle. You can put it anywhere as you want. You just do this nice little circle for your sun. Ta-da! You have a sun reaching through those clouds and a beautiful sunset on an island. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.